Do you believe you can make something this fluffy with nothing but eggs? No flour? No sugar? No frying? Just a couple of eggs can transform into a beautiful golden soufflé that's incredibly light, soft, and airy, almost like eating a cloud. Its smooth, delicate surface hides an irresistibly fluffy interior that's moist, springy, and melts in your mouth with every bite. Once you discover this simple technique, you'll never look at eggs the same way again. Let's get started. First, prepare 3 fresh eggs. Separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. Simply crack each egg and gently pass the yolk back and forth between the 2 shell halves. You can easily separate the whites without using any special tools. For this recipe, we'll whip the egg whites to create the egg's natural light and airy texture, so make sure no egg yolk gets into the whites. Even a tiny amount of yolk can prevent them from whipping properly. Also, make sure the bowl is completely clean, dry, and free of any oil or grease, as even a trace of fat can keep the egg whites from reaching their full volume. Once the egg whites have been separated, place them in the refrigerator for a while. The cold temperature helps stabilize the proteins in the egg whites, allowing them to form smaller, more uniform air bubbles. This creates a smoother, firmer meringue that holds its volume much longer. Now add 1/8 teaspoon of salt to the egg yolks. This small amount of salt plays a surprisingly important role. It won't make the cake taste salty. Instead, it acts like a natural flavor enhancer, bringing out the egg's natural sweetness, balancing the richness of the yolks, and reducing any slight eggy smell, resulting in a more fragrant and well-balanced flavor. Whisk until the mixture is completely smooth. Now take the chilled egg whites out of the refrigerator. This is the step that determines how light and fluffy your finished cake will be. You can certainly use an electric mixer, but in this video, I'll be using a hand whisk. Whisk in horizontal strokes, or a figure-8 motion to incorporate as much air as possible into the egg whites. Don't add the sugar right away. Wait until the egg whites become foamy, because this is when the protein structure begins to form and is ready to trap the tiny air bubbles inside. Now add 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. Adding the sugar at exactly the right moment acts like a secret trick that locks in the air bubbles, making the whipped egg whites smoother, glossier, and much more stable. If you add the sugar too early, the egg whites will take much longer to whip and won't expand as easily. If you add it too late, the air bubbles will already be weak and more likely to collapse. Once the sugar has completely dissolved, continue whisking more vigorously to strengthen the foam. Tilt the bowl about 30 to 45 degrees as you whisk. This allows the whisk to incorporate more air into the egg whites, making them whip faster and producing a finer, more stable foam. When you lift the whisk and the peak stands straight without bending over, you've reached the perfect stiff peak stage. At this point, the whipped egg whites should be thick, glossy, and incredibly stable. The secret to creating a soufflé that's light as a cloud, irresistibly fluffy, and melts in your mouth with every bite. Now, take about 1/3 of the whipped egg whites and add them to the egg yolk mixture. Gently whisk until just combined. This step lightens the yolk mixture, making it much easier to fold into the remaining egg whites without deflating too many of the air bubbles. Next, pour the entire egg yolk mixture into the remaining whipped egg whites. Using a silicone spatula, gently fold the mixture from the bottom up, always folding in the same direction. Do not stir in circles or overmix, as this will break the air bubbles and prevent the soufflé from becoming light and fluffy. Pour the mixture into a baking dish. Be careful not to fill it more than 1/3 full, as the soufflé will rise significantly during cooking and may overflow. If you like, sprinkle some shredded coconut, sliced almonds, or your favorite nuts over the top. Place it in the microwave. Cook on medium power for about 5 minutes. Instead of microwaving, you can bake it in the oven or cook it in an air fryer to create a beautifully golden, lightly crisp top, while keeping the inside soft, fluffy, and cloud-like. When the time is up, open the microwave. Insert a toothpick into the center to check for doneness. If the toothpick comes out clean, the soufflé is fully cooked. If not, microwave it for another 1 to 2 minutes, or until fully cooked. This fluffy egg soufflé looks like a soft golden cloud resting on your plate. The top rises beautifully, with a smooth surface dotted with tiny air bubbles that reveal its incredibly light and airy texture. Its natural golden color makes it look bright, elegant, and incredibly inviting. When you cut into it, the soufflé stays soft and springy without collapsing. It's nice to know that we see each other all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. It's great to see your support. The outside is perfectly cooked, while the inside is wonderfully fluffy, moist, and practically melts in your mouth. Just looking at it, you can already imagine its cloud-like softness and the rich, buttery aroma of fresh eggs. If you enjoy simple recipes with just a few ingredients that taste like they're from a café or restaurant, then this is one recipe you definitely shouldn't miss. It's hard to believe that with just a few eggs, you can create a fluffy, cloud-like soufflé that is incredibly soft and delicate, without any flour or sugar. Each bite is moist, springy, and melts gently in your mouth, while keeping the naturally rich and creamy aroma of eggs. It tastes just as amazing as a dessert served in a cozy cafe. The recipe is extremely simple, requires only a few ingredients, and is easy to succeed with, even for beginners. Yet the final result is surprisingly beautiful and impressive. Not only is it delicious, but this soufflé is also high in protein, low in carbs, and perfect for anyone who wants to enjoy a light yet nutritious treat. Once you try making it, you may be amazed that ordinary eggs can be transformed into such a soft, fluffy, fragrant, and irresistible dish that you'll want to make it again and again. The video ends here. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. If you find the video interesting, please give me a like. Don't forget to share it with your relatives and friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next video.